Today, we are going to make some grass. No, I'm not in Colorado, so it's not going to be that kind of grass. It's our techniques that are so simple and sensible, your mowers will practically build themselves. Hello folks, it's Mad Dog Merv. Welcome to the Kid Hoarder Stash. Today we are going to be looking at a tank. No, not a 1974 Lincoln or anything like that. An actual tank. So, this is one that I have actually built a couple of times, but you can't have too many of them, even though there was only one of this particular thing made. And that is the T-26E4 Super Pershing Pilot 1. And this is by Hobby Boss. This kit's been out for several years now, but it's just cool. It's like a hot rod version of a regular Pershing, if that makes any sense. Here's your box art. Looks like we got a tiny bit of photo etch. This particular tank was one of the few, I want to say there was 26, but I could be wrong. About that many, though. There were a few that hit Europe right before the end of the war, and so in 1945 it actually saw action. Now this one had a special barrel, two-piece ammunition, and they had done some upgrades so that it was a lot harder to penetrate. So we're going to take a look at it. Oh, first off, in the box is the instructions and the paint guide. So let's look at that. Nice clean fingers. I can't open anything up. Here we go. Okay. Here's our breakdown of the parts and our putting the thing together. The hull. Getting all your torsion arms on. That Christie suspension, holy cow. A lot of torsion arms. Individual track links, it looks like. Or maybe it's some Lincoln length. I'll have to look. I can't remember. It's been a while since I built this. Anyway, you have an engine. You have a Ford, I believe it's an FAA engine for this, which is really neat. I built one of mine with the covers open, and you could actually see the engine, but it's a great engine. And transaxle in here, cooling fans, radiator, and some other bits of the engine compartment. Fuel tanks. You got some grills for the tanks, and putting the motor in. Ooh, ah. Now the hull, and it goes together pretty quick and easy. Lots of covers, the stowage boxes. I think there's more stowage boxes than anything else on it. The hull's together. Got the screens. Got the custom piece of armor for the bow here. Pretty neat. Finally off to the turret. And the special gun and the special plate armor that was cut specifically and put on this particular version. And because the gun was so heavy, it had these actuators here to help raise it and lower it. Pretty neat. Builds into a great looking tank. So I did one version with the grates open to make it look like it would have in combat, and then I also did the Freedom tank from the game World of Tanks. So anyway, here's your markings. All right. And then we killed a plastic tree to perpetuate this thing. There's a lot of plastic here. You can still find these kits. Usually you'll get them out of someone's collection, or you can find them on eBay. Sometimes you'll find them sitting around in a hobby store. But here's the custom plate armor for the hull, and then for the sides of the turret. Pretty neat. In the front of the mantlet. Turnbuckles actually look really nice on this. And then we have, ooh, the grills. The grills actually look really nice. The grills on the look really nice. There's the upper hull, and there is some cast markings on the front here. Next, we have the lower part of the turret, and it looks like the fenders and some hatches. Little bit of texture. There's a little bit of texture on the turret. On mine, I added more texture to it, but there you can see. Let's see what we got here. Oh, we have engine parts. And under here, oh wow, we have one of these pieces of styrofoam to keep parts from breaking. These little parts here. So again, parts of the transaxle, the fans, parts of the engine. And having built it, I can tell you it does build into a very nice engine. And also, having been next to one of these engines, we used to have a collector here who had a couple of these engines, and he had a Pershing, an M26 that had actually been in Europe, one of the original ones. Anyway, been next to the engine, and yeah, this engine builds into a pretty good replica of it. The counterweight for the back. And this long barrel. Now there was a Pilot 2, and the second Pilot, as I recall, I think it had the actuator on it as well. And it had a similar gun. I think it was also to check out, I'm not 100% sure, I think it was to check out a similar gun to this one. But it did not make it into combat, is my understanding, and then eventually was just turned into regular Super Pershing. But there's the hatches, sprockets. Again, great detail on this. I've heard good and bad about Hobby Boss kits. Honestly, this kit I think is awesome. I think it's a great kit. Here's the turret. Yeah, you've got a mold line here you'll have to remove. But when you glue this together anyway, you're going to want to add some cast texture. It already has some cast texture. But you probably want to add more. Lower hull looks great. Yep, here's the lower hull. The detail on it. You got the weld seams, and you've got some texture. That's nice. Apparently this tank was credited with knocking out a couple of pieces of German armor, but I won't tell you which ones because I want you to look it up. There's a couple of different versions of the story, so you can look that up. The exhaust manifolds look great. The fans, parts of the engine compartment, which you don't really need to put in if you're going to just button it up, but what's fun in having all this fun stuff and buttoning it up, huh? Nope, I guess it is rubber band tracks. I had forgotten. So, yeah, rubber band tracks on this. And really, they aren't that bad. Again, I've built this thing twice, and yeah, it wasn't a problem. Here's the decals. Looks like we have some stowage racks and some engine screens there on the photo etch. Oh, okay. Still some more plastic to go here. There's quite a bit of plastic in it. But it did build up nice and easy, fairly quick. Here we've got some more of the little styrofoam guard. Some of the like the cover for the siren, the rear of the engine compartment. We have the muzzle brake, and there's our Cal 50, which definitely will want to upgrade that one. It's not terrible, but it's, yeah, it needs to be upgraded. The 30 cal for the hull, and then lots of toolboxes, storage boxes, and access covers for the engine compartment. Oh, wow. Okay, now this is interesting. I guess it comes with individual track links that are plastic, if you want to go that option. I didn't remember that. But looks to be enough to build an entire set of tracks, so pretty cool. I like that. I like having the option, and I like having extra tracks. So now the last of the plastic. We have two of these same sprues. Here's our guards, our periscope guards. Wheels, periscopes. Some torsion arms, some of the smaller road wheels, return wheels. And like I say, there's two of those sprues. So, there you go. Now I know this is an older kit. If it's something you've ever thought of building, I can tell you it does build fairly easy. It's not a problem. And it does build into a beautiful model of a Pershing. And if you wanted to do this, this version of a Pershing, this is the kit. If you want to do one of these, how can I put it? It was the experimental version, I guess, of the Super Pershing, if you will. Just very, very neat. And this particular one has a very neat history as well. So, that's it for today. Thanks for joining us, folks, and we'll see you again soon on the Kit Hoarder Stash. Take care.